Hi. I had a very good question lately that I want to discuss here. It was in regards to one of my previous videos where I spoke about this kind of quantum shift to a different frequency. Just simply upgrading yourself to a completely different way of thinking, of perception, of living your reality. And the question was in regards to the test that universe places in front of you. And it sounds like I may have personified the universe a bit when speaking about it. So I'm here today to clarify the misconception. So first of all, when we talk about stuff like that, we need to use the human language that's been designed for this reality. And it relates to things as objects, right? It relates to things as nouns, to activities as verbs. We have this baggage, and sometimes misunderstandings will take place, and it's perfectly fine. It's all part of the dialogue. In this case, we need to understand that you're the universe, right? This is probably the most important bit. Let me draw it for you. So first of all, here's you. And this is your kind of 3D you. Then there's you that has transcended time. It's kind of 4D you. Then you can be 5D you that can see multiple realities at the same time, multiple timelines back and forth, stuff like that. And at some stage, you just realize that you're the universe, all right? So even if you're here, even if you're the 3D you, or some sort of fraction of that 3D you deep inside, when you're very much focused on some one-dimensional task or some low vibrational limitation, you are still this. You are still this whole entire thing, all right? So this is you. How do you place challenges in front of yourself? So if we have this graph that represents space, that represents time and vibration, let's place the letter F for frequency because it's pretty, and let's make a line for 200 because that's the industry standard. Okay. And how do we approach this? So let's say you're at 200 and then you have some life-changing experience that bumps you up to 400. Spoke to Buddha himself and he explained to you that it doesn't matter, you can let go, and bam, 400. So you are not a point on this line because we exist in time as human beings. If we were just points that don't see our pasts, that don't look into our futures, it would not really be much of a problem. Because being here, being at 400, you would be able to relate to it on strictly 400 level. There would be no difference between this event, between the test event, and any other events that you're experiencing. Your car breaks down, you just go like, oh good, an opportunity for me to have a walk. This sort of stuff. However, we live, our brains, our minds, our consciousness likes to live in the past a bit. So you still perceive a bit of your past self into the future. Not into the future. You still perceive a bit of your past self. It's like walking through life facing backwards, facing towards your past. You don't see what's happening in front of you. You can only be guessing, and you're looking constantly backwards. All right? So even if you took this jump, most of you still remains in the past, and it will try to influence how you perceive your current self, how you perceive your relationship with reality here in now in 400. If you successfully transitioned to that 400 vibration, if this is where you really are with your entire 3D soul 3D soul, then you oh, you know what I mean, then you will be able to take your entire 200 life experience and put it in its own context and not react with it. All right? And that's how you pass the test. You placed in front of yourself. Because these events that happen to you right now may be the same events that would happen to the 200 you. They may be caused by whatever baggage you were carrying, whatever you were manifesting at 200. I don't know. They may be random events. Things happen. What is important though is how you react. This first blink of an eye of how you react to an event. And it's always a good idea to test yourself, to kind of talk to yourself. Whenever you're reacting to something, take a pause and speak to yourself. Why did I approach it this way? Why did I get upset? Or is this reaction really necessary? Is this improving anything in how I relate to reality? And not in accusatory tone. Just this dialogue with yourself sometimes helps to clear things up. Okay, I hope I did clear this up, and I hope next time you're thinking, about events that you encounter after, I don't know, meditating for 3 hours and speaking to God, you will be able to see it as a perfectly objective, without malignant intelligence trying to trip you over. It's just that's the way things are, and the universe is yours. Thanks for being here.